Well, she thinks I still care. Hey, what's happening, everybody? Willie here. Good old Wanna Go Fishing. You know, it is no surprise to anyone that I like just about anything that's got wheels on it, with the exception of grocery carts and stretchers. You can figure all that out, I'm sure, but what we're going to talk about today is versatility. And there's a few things in this world that no matter how hard you try, you can't make it versatile enough to satisfy the need for which it is purposefully being used. I'm not sure that made any sense whatsoever, but my gosh, what a great group of words put one behind the other. Wow. What I'm getting at is, just like having all of these fishing rods and reels and all that stuff, do you really need that many? No, you don't. You can find you a saltwater rod, a good freshwater rod, all-purpose kind of thing, and maybe a catfishing setup. And really, you'd be pretty much done. You can do just about anything you want to do, but there's that thing. This rod does this better than this rod and reel does this, and this one's medium light and this one's medium fast, and this one's 6 foot and that one's 4 foot, and this one casts further than that one does, and this one has a 5,000 size reel, and this one has a 500 size reel which has 4-pound line on it, and this one has 35-pound braid on it. It gets confusing. It does. But what we're here to talk about today is fishing related, because I know you have seen me, if you've been watching my videos, you have seen me put bicycles together to, well, serve purpose for, fishing, really. I've gone as far back as I think my second video, or maybe third, was about a bicycle that I had put together to use to go fishing. Well, that bike is no longer here anymore. Someone else owns that bike, just like someone else owns the beach cruiser bike that I built at the campground. Somebody else owns the green Schwinn that I built in the backyard that I got from somebody else, and the list goes on of the bicycles that I've gotten rid of in my time. But I've narrowed it down to 3 that have purpose. Now, if you've watched the one, the Bianchi SOK, or SOC, or whatever it's called, that's a mountain bike. That is a mountain bike that has been set up to ride trails and that kind of thing and be able to put my fishing equipment on it and go fishing. There you go. Simple as that. Now, that particular bike is really good off-road. Big tires. It's a 29-inch wheel. It has shocks, and it's really good off-road. But if you look back some time, go back in time, I built what was called the Wanna Go Fishin Express, which was basically a baby trailer that went behind a bicycle that I turned into a fishing trailer. I even used it at the campground a couple times. It was kind of funny, actually, because I got asked if I had babies or dogs in it. Evidently, I'm not the only people that utilize those things for other things. But regardless, I needed some kind of bike to be able to hook that trailer to, something that's more easygoing oriented, kind of gravel road, bicycle path kind of, that kind of thing, that trailer could go behind. Obviously, if I hook it to the back of the mountain bike, it's going to go bouncing through the woods, things are going to get thrown everywhere. I get back in the woods and I blow a tire or I break a rim or do whatever, bouncing over logs and stumps and roots. I'm going to be stuck. So the Wanna Go Fishin Express is not going to be doing a whole lot of off-roading or anything. So what I have is called a Raleigh Supurbe Roadster. I'm trying to fix this bike up to be able to handle camera equipment, fishing equipment, and pull the Wanna Go Fishin Express. That is what this entire elongated speech was all about. I hope that Evan edited that and made it fast. Now, if you people buy anything from Amazon, sometimes you can buy something that's the greatest thing you've ever seen in your life and you can't believe you've ever lived without it. But there comes a point when you buy something that you go, I don't believe that I actually pressed OK, submit, whatever, and bought this thing. That can happen. Now, what I've done is bought some bags. to go on the back of this bike. And they're more like saddlebags as opposed to the bag that sits right up on top. That may happen at some point. We might get a bag that goes right up on top. But for right now, we've got some that slip over like saddlebags on the rear rack, and we're going to get those out of this box right here, put them on that bike out there, and then we're going to figure out if the Wanna Go Fishin Express is going to work with this bike, which I probably should have done before I bought these bags. So there you go. They're already on. And the reason that they're already on is because how many times can you watch an installation of something? I mean, especially when it's something you honestly really don't care that much about. It's very simple to put on. You have 4 straps up top that go through the bottom of the rack, and you just kind of weave them through and you tighten them. There's really nothing to it. Then underneath of here, you have a bungee cord with a silver hook that you pull down through the one of 3 adjustment points depending on your bike, because you could have a bike that's taller. You could have a, this could be a 20-inch bike, it could be a 26-inch bike, you know, that kind of thing. So you have to adjust it accordingly. And then you bring your silver hook down to the rack, and it keeps these from flying outward. So that way when you're riding, you're not worried about them flapping in the wind and basically taking off like an eagle in flight. But that's basically it. You have 2 big pockets, one on the outside here, then one above it that you unzip and you can put everything down there or here. And this thing is waterproof. Now, when it comes down to the waterproof part of this, most likely my camera equipment is going to be in Ziploc bags anyway. That's kind of how I do it. So if I'm in this position, even when I'm riding the Monkey or the Royal Enfield, the motorcycles, whatever, I generally put my camera equipment in Ziploc bags just to cover all bases, just in case it does rain and the things that are supposed to be waterproof really aren't that waterproof. Now, a little bit about the bike, and you'll be able to get a chance to see a little bit more about it as I go ahead and use it at some point. Now, with the bag as well, you can also get another bag to go up top here, a higher bag, another bag, and I will probably do that. Problem is, I don't know if I'll find a green one. I really like this green. The green and tan is very military-esque. It's very Semper Gumby. That's kind of what it reminds me of, though. It's a very military feel with the tan, brown, and green. So that's kind of the direction I was heading anyway. But let me show you a little bit about the bike. That is an 8-speed Shimano Nexus internal hub. So all of my gears are in that big round silver hub right there. Then of course you have on the other side, you have a Shimano disc brake, which is really nice. Stops on a dime. It's a gorgeous Shimano Alfie 3-piece style crank. That thing is just, it is so pretty to look at. It's like artwork. I have a tendency to call it Alfie just because it's fun. It's actually Alpine or Alphine, however you want to say it, but I call it Alfie just because it's fun. And it is actually a generator, okay? That is a generator that turns inside this hub on the edge right here. Here is your plug. This is a plug that actually goes in. You follow this wire up here. There is my LED light that is powered by that hub down there in the wheel. Now these are little things that you probably don't care a whole lot about, but I'm going to tell you anyway. You have a stem that's very reminiscent of a mountain bike style stem. Then as we go out, we have our shifters up and down right there to take you from 1st to 8th or 8th to 1st, whichever direction you need to go. Now, let's look at the seat. So we all know how I am about seats and things like that. What we're looking at is an aftermarket, this is an aftermarket seat pole or stem here that I got, because it has a shock built in right there, okay? So that's going to give me a little bit of flex and bump when I bang and bump, because the skinny tires do have a tendency to make things a little rough. Now, this seat, made in Italy, and it is a gel style seat, also with the springs in the back. So I'm getting as much comfort as I can possibly get, and that's just how it should be. I'm just saying. There is the Raleigh Supurbe Roadster. Supurbe? I didn't know this was a Supurbe. So obviously it is the Raleigh Supurbe Roadster. It is a very, very nice bike. I really enjoy riding it. As a matter of fact, it's one of the few bikes that I've ever owned that actually scares me to take it out, because I'm just terrified I'm going to mess it up in some way, shape, or form. But everything that gets messed up can be fixed. It's just how it is. So anyway, the next thing is to actually get that trailer, get it hooked to the back of this thing, and make sure that it's actually going to work the way we want it to. So on behalf of my supervisor, Boo, here, who has already gone over it from stem to stern and made sure everything was installed correctly, we need to get out there now and get the thing hooked to the trailer. Ain't that right? He's not very talkative unless he finds something wrong. If he finds something wrong, then man, he just... I mean, uh-oh, what'd you find wrong? I'm so tired now, I don't know if I got strength enough to fling anything. Whew. Water's low. Water's really low. Tackle bag. A fish has been caught. Thank goodness we're recording. I can't tell you how many times I've cut that camera on and off. Little guy hanging on the edge of the shade there. Sorry I had to throw you so far, but finally got something out deep. I can't believe it. I'm just, I can't begin to tell you. It's just craziness. What is a bass? What are you doing way out there? You didn't even fight. I mean, didn't even fight. But hey, that's two. And if you put the two together that I've caught, it'd make one almost good one. Are you kidding me? All I did was stop to wipe my hair out of my face. And another daggone minnow hit. What is it with you little guys? What are... All the big ones must be really deep because y'all guys are up here swimming around.
Baby.
If this is the best I can do, I just need to get on my bike and go home.
Are you kidding?
There we go. Again, I don't feel like there's anything even on the other end. The fight that I'm getting here, I could have used a Barbie rod. Thank you, I guess. What in the name of all that is holy is going on around here? Whew. There is nothing in this world I would love more than to be able to tell you how worth it that was. That would be such a lie. That was about, I don't know, probably about 8 miles total round trip. Maybe a little more than that. When I really think about that, the route that I took, you're probably looking at maybe 9. Now people, I am not a spring chicken. And I don't even know what a spring chicken is and what makes a spring chicken be so young and vibrant. Unless I guess it's born in the spring. But I was born in February. And there's no spring It's pretty sprung these days. I like to think that I'm still 25, but I'm not. That was one of those, almost felt like it was uphill both ways, wind against me, sun in my eyes, dog ate my homework kind of. You know, we got there, and I'm not gonna lie, the trailer works well. It carries all my stuff. The fishing rods, they don't fall out. They stay in the little holders. The bags that I got for the bike held some camera stuff and what else? Had my hat, my bottle of water. Did great. But I really believe that the best route for me to go would be get another bag for the back of it to go up high, which may be overkill, may not. But that and add a rod holder, maybe two, to the back of the bike. Pulling the trailer, there's a learning curve there. Not being too close to the curb, for one. You know, when you're riding a bicycle, you like to kind of stay close to the curb edge, not get in the gutter, but a couple of times I got too close to the gutter edge and the wheel of the trailer caught the curb because, you know, the trailer's this wide and the bike is that wide and my legs sticking out of the knees are probably about that way. You know, it's a little wider. There's a little bit of a learning curve there. Or curb, whatever you want to say. Pulling the weight does make a difference, specifically when the wind gets up. Because pulling that trailer is a lot like pulling a parachute behind you. And a couple of times the old wind caught that thing and I felt like I was going backwards. All in all, these are all learning experiences. These are things that you try, and you know, this trailer is not exactly something that I haven't used before. I have used it before, but I was more in the campground in a wooded area where the wind really wasn't that bad. The trees broke all the directions that the wind was coming through, and I really didn't have that problem. And in the campground, you know, what am I covering? About 1.5 miles at best, you know. So on pavement and all that, it's great. Let's just say that the whole thing on paper looks good. I'm sure the Edsel, the Vega, and the Pinto all looked good on paper too. Anyway, hey, we gave it a try and it worked. Didn't catch anything worth writing home about, but regardless, there were a few fish caught that you didn't see because honestly, it wasn't worth turning the camera on for. I tried something different that you didn't get to see. I actually tried a buzzbait, topwater buzzbait, that I casted out deep, let it go to the bottom, came up with it really fast and came across, and I actually hooked into several fish, but didn't catch them. Caught one. I take that back. Caught one out of about 4, I think it was, which is more than several. I don't know what 4 is. Several's usually 3, obviously. 1 is 1, a couple is 2, several is 3, and 4 is Kasnickelflits. Hey, if there's no word for it, can you deny that it's not Kasnickelflits? Anyway, all in all, we gave it a shot. It was fun to do. It was something that, you know, get your blood pumping and make your heart leap right out of your chest. So really what I need to do is go have a slice of pie with some ice cream. That ought to get the blood flowing, slow it down. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. And we'll see you on the next one, whatever that may be. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you around. Oh, let's go get some pie. Hey, Boo, you want to get some pie? Almost broke my neck. Almost tripped right there. Wouldn't that have been good? Camera's not even aimed in my direction. It would have been funny though. The sound would have been great.